Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please like, share, subscribe. I know I've been away for a while, but I'm back at it. Today's tutorial, it will be all about purple and gray. If you guys want to learn how to do eyebrows, please look at my other videos. Next, I'll be using black Opal stick foundation and Nutmeg to cover up the concealer. Now I'll be using a flat concealer brush by Crown Brushes. All the brushes will be labeled in the description box. So I'm using the Crown Brushes, a flat concealer brush, because it's easier to work with. It's synthetic and it will glide through the concealer with the foundation to help you cover it up. I use that same foundation to cover up the concealer as my eyeshadow base, so you can place that foundation on the lid of the eyes as your eyeshadow base. Because the concealer brush is flat and is made out of synthetic fiber, it's easier to sculpt the eyebrows and make it look sharp. And here you have a nice clean razor sharp eyebrow. After sculpting the eyebrows, I like to use the same brush that I use to fill in the eyebrow, the angle brush, to fade both eyebrows together to give it that fade effect, and I'll wipe the middle off with my finger. Now to begin with, we're going to start the eyeshadow. I'll be using Becca Cosmetics Clown White as her eyeshadow base. Now I'll be working at the Bperfection Carnival palette by Stacey Mary, and the first shade I'll be using is Chant. This is the first color I'll be placing in the crease. The second color from the Carnival palette will be Wasted, a little darker purple. That's the second color I'll be placing in the crease. The third color in the crease will be Rowdy. As you can see, I am pulling the eyebrows up to make sure all the colors have a little bit of room to show. Next, I'll be using a black eyeshadow from a Morphe palette to place in the crease. As you can see, I'm trying to minimize the black as possible. I'm using a Precision Crease brush. I will put that in the description box. Where you can find it is by Crown Brushes. I use that to blend all the colors in and out. Then I go back to my regular crease brush, what I was using to blend the purple and brown color to help fade away some black. Next, I'll be using MAC Cosmetics Pro Concealer NW15 to cut the crease. When cutting the crease, make sure you make a nice curvy line to follow the crease of the eyes. As you can see, I'm doing my best to make sure that crease looks good with one line, one sharp curvy line. Now I'm using the silver shadow from a Morphe 35W palette. As you can see, I'm slightly guiding the silver across the crease. Make sure you stay in the concealer area. That's how you get that crease to look nice and neat when placing the color in that area. After placing the silver eyeshadow, you go back and you blend the outer area of the crease with the black, brown, and purple. You blend that whole area out. Soften up that line. Now I'm using a little duo glue to place some silver glitter in the inner corner of the eyes. The glitter I'm using is by Becca Cosmetics Silver Prism. Then I'll be using my favorite liquid liner. It's from Amuse Cosmetic. It's a waterproof black liquid liner. It is very liquidy and easy to work with, and it's nice to glide. Now I'll be using La Charmer Wispy Lash as an eyelash base. Her eyes were kind of watery, so please excuse it. Her inner corner of the eye is the most watery part. Now I'm doubling the lash with number 15 by La Charmer. These are some strong lashes. They're probably like fresh off the machine because they did not want to bend or curl. So I had to fight to put these on. I love to clamp the lash onto the other lash to make sure they're nicely, properly secured. I always clean up as I move along. Next step, I'll be prepping and priming the skin. For moisture, I'll be using the Cetaphil Moisture Cream. For the primer, I'll be using a Becca Porless primer. For the Becca primer, after applying it, I like to let it sit on the face for a little bit to kind of dry. After drying off, my favorite foundation I love to use on her is MAC Cosmetic NC50 Studio Fix Fluid. I like to use a little foundation to hit the inner corner of the eyeshadow just to blend that rigid area out. For concealer, I'll be using MAC Cosmetics Pro Concealer NW30. Just to tone down certain areas of the concealer that I think that is too bright, I add a little foundation on the edge of the concealer just to soften it up. To contour her, I'll be using MAC Cosmetics NW50A Studio Fix Fluid. Every now and then I use a concealer brush to help me shape the nose to make it look narrow. Okay, before I set her eyes, I like to use the concealer brush to press the creases from underneath her eyes. Then I'll be using Benign Translucent Setting Powder. Next, to set her face, I'll be using Makeup Forever HD Powder in 173 to set the inner circle of her highlight. And for the outer face, I'll be using Makeup Forever Skin Finisher in the color Deep. At this point, I'll be blending all of this powder together. Now I'll be using Benign Cosmetic Banana Powder to highlight her. Next, I'll be using the Sahara Blush Volume No. 1 palette by Juvia. And the shade out of the palette I'll be using is Zane, Tobe, and No. Next, I'll be using a lip pencil by Becca Cosmetics called Night Moth to line up her lips. Then I'll be using Instigator lipstick by MAC Cosmetics. I love to fill in the lip with the pencil because I feel like if you eat or drink with the lipstick or whatever, if the lip is removed, at least you have the pencil underneath the lipstick that will last longer. The lipstick that I'm using next is Instigator by MAC Cosmetics. Now I'll be using her skin foundation with a concealer brush to sharpen her lips. After sharpening her lips, now it's time to blend down the banana powder. It's very important to blend that powder all the way down because if you don't, if you take a flash picture, you will get a flashback. Next, I'll be using a matte kohl pencil coffee line for a waterline. After the eyeliner, I noticed it was still more banana powder underneath the eye, so I quickly dust some off. Now I went back to the Carnival palette, and I'm using the shade Elixer to smudge the bottom liner. I love to use a little paper or cardboard when smudging underneath the eye, so I receive no fallout on the face. Now I'll be dusting off any fallout I see, and also I use the same concealer brush to help sharpen her eyeshadow. Now I'm retouching her liquid liner with Amuse Cosmetics. Now I'm going to apply my favorite bronzer. It's Gold Deposit by MAC Cosmetics. This is one of my favorite bronzer I love to use on dark skin girls. To highlight underneath the eyebrows, I'll be using Thinner from the Carnival palette. Whenever I do makeup, I try my best to fix, change, or rearrange whatever I might see out of place. Now for the last step, I'll be using a mascara to pull out her bottom lashes and remove the makeup from the top lashes. Now I'll be doing my final touch up on anything or imperfection that I may see with my own eyes. Now to set her face, I'm using D Slick by Urban Decay to set her makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button for you to know when I post another video. Thank you.